Okay, so welcome guys. So this is
Welcome,
our
welcome.
this is our first kind of podcast. We're talking about like random stuff and
First
uh,
episode.
yeah, first episode. Let me introduce you to my friend. His name is Rennie. I'll say Rennie.
Hello,
His
guys.
full name is Renato, and I'm Spiros. And today, what are we gonna be talking about today, Renato? What are we gonna be talking about today?
Today we're gonna be talking about ghosts because why not,
Ganders.
I guess.
Yeah,
So, Spiro,
yeah.
my brother, do you believe in ghosts?
Yeah, Billy. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really believe them, but I have had encounters and stuff like that. People have talked about it quite a lot. Um,
So, I'm kind of in the same boat where I kind of like, I'm a logical person usually. Like,
yeah,
if I don't see it, I don't believe it. But with ghosts, there is something about it that I always like, I don't know, I always kind of like believe and I don't believe in
yeah,
it in a way. Like I think most people are lying about what they're saying, but there is like some encounters out there where it's like something happened. You know what I mean?
yeah. I can
So,
understand that. Like, I believe that like, when someone dies,
yeah,
um, but it's like close to you, like a close person to you. I think I believe they're coming into your dreams. And honestly, like, I think before
yeah,
when my like nun died. I think she came to
yeah,
my gym. I saw her, and it felt so real. And then she said goodbye to me, like before I woke up. And even though I don't believe, like I'm a scientist, I don't believe in like stuff like that paranormal. But sometimes when you see dreams like this, you're like, it feels so real.
yeah. Sometimes it's like that. I had an uncle as well. He had like a similar dream when
Mm,
his father died. Where his father died, and he got like his father in his dream telling
yeah,
him that everything is okay. Like, and he was like, he was not feeling okay for like a week or something until he saw the dream, and afterwards he was like okay, he was feeling okay, completely okay. Like the dream make him feel normal again. Like he wasn't depressed anymore.
mm,
So, and he said like he saw his father, like that was 100% his father. It wasn't just a dream.
yeah, yeah. It feels when you're in that situation, it feels so real. Like it's like as a human, you're like, okay, I'm in this place or whatever.
I
And
like
yeah,
to because logically wise, I like the there is a theory about like ghosts are just like memories or something like lingering around on objects and stuff like that. Like maybe in a house where like a lot of people died, maybe like some memories or something of that event just stays on the house, like
yeah.
something. And when you get in, you get that vibe. You know what I mean? When you like get in a place, sometimes you get like this vibe,
Mm.
like this bad vibe.
Especially on like the old buildings, like
Yeah.
there's like a 1700s or something like that, like
And
building you get
that
in.
that actually people have to tell you if people have died in the house if they're selling you the house as well. It's one of the reasons
Do you know what?
because you need to know.
One of the houses when I moved to London, and basically we went to like from like a one bedroom flat with my family, we went to like a three bedroom. And
Yeah,
on that three bedroom, my dad was renovating it and stuff like that. And actually, the woman that was living there, she died, and that's how we got the flat.
yeah,
So it was, my dad was telling me about like, how he was hearing this noise or whatever coming from like in the attic when he was renovating it. He was like, I don't know what it is. And then I think when I started leaving there as well, I was hearing it, and I was just like, oh, it's okay. It's just probably from the restaurant, like downstairs or something like that. But it
yeah.
just
You
feels
you
surreal.
hearing this
Yeah,
voice?
yeah. It's so strange about that. Like, there's a lot of evidence people have provided to not be real, but at the same time, like, why would a lot of people say that it's real? Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah, it's like
yeah,
yeah, go on.
but it's quite different in different like in different religions. It's quite different. Like for example,
Yeah,
in Islam, they say it's not a ghost. Ghosts don't exist, and it's quite similar in
yeah. But the
Christianity. Yeah,
genies, so they think it's like there's like the
yeah,
demons, the
yeah.
genies.
It's quite
So there's a lot of
similar
it.
in Christianity in some like houses of Christian. I think it's Orthodox, isn't it? Where like they either go to heaven or hell. So there is no like you stay in earth or whatever. There's no ghost. So it will be
Yeah,
quite similar of like it's demons. So it's like it might be like demons portraying to be like ghosts and stuff like that, and they
Ghost.
just
Yeah, I
do,
get it.
yeah.
I get it.
Have
I
you
get
got
what you
any
mean.
have you got any like any stories about it or something like that?
Oh, I have multiple stories, but this year, for the first time ever, I have actually a story about myself
Oh, go
having
on,
an encounter. Like I never had an encounter in my life,
go on. I would like
and
to hear it.
yeah. So for people that don't know, I work in like a station. So
Yeah,
stations in London, they have to be one of the most probably haunted places if you're gonna ever find something haunted, because of the Black Death back in Europe. For anybody who
the
doesn't know,
plague.
a
Yeah.
lot of people died. Like a lot of people died, especially in England. So they had to, like, because of this disease. So
Mm.
you had to burn the bodies so the disease doesn't spread. So they will burn the bodies in one place altogether. And usually, sometimes stations are built where all of those bodies got burned, basically. So there is like a lot of dark energy, like
Yeah.
bad energy. Uh, so every night or morning when I'm alone in my, because I usually like come earlier than everybody else
Yeah.
because I'm closer to my work than anybody else. So I'm usually like 30 minutes early and I'm just chilling there, like waiting for everybody else to come. So every time I'm along, there's like, so it's a station first of all, so you're gonna hear a lot of trains. So in the start, it's kind of creepy, but you kind of get used to it. So eventually, though, like I was like alone at night. The scariest part is not even the noises anymore, is when everything just gets quiet because there's so much noise, and then just suddenly everything, like the ventilation, just stops working randomly. The fridges stop making noises, and then the trains stop coming, and just this silence, and that's just creepy.
Yeah.
But
That
I
makes
was
sense to be
one
honest.
night, yeah, but I was one night. This is the encounter I got. I don't know if it's a ghost or something happened. Like
Mm.
maybe something else happened,
Yeah.
but it's just like weird because it's like inside on the second floor, so it couldn't be the air. Sometimes you can say, oh, it was the air, but basically the toilet door is one of those where you open it and it just closes by itself on the back, like it's just gonna close by itself, like you don't need to push it or something. It just comes and
Yeah.
closes by itself, so you can't keep it open. If you keep it open, you need to put something to just keep it open, right?
Yeah.
So
It's sort of like typical
it was
fire doors, isn't it?
like at night. We were like at night. All my colleagues are like downstairs. So basically, the place is like a two. There's two rooms. There's bottom and there's the top one. The top one is for like for the staff and maybe to keep stuffs, and then down is where is the kitchen and everything else. So I'm going up, and all my colleagues are working downstairs. So I'm going up, and there's supposed to be no one upstairs, like no one. And I'm going upstairs, and like as I'm going up, like the toilet door it just closes, like instantly slams. Like it
Mm.
wasn't just a close, it was like a slam, like somebody pushed it. So in my head, I am like somebody's inside, and then as I'm realizing it, wait a minute, everybody's downstairs. There should be no one upstairs.
Yeah.
So
Don't you
I just
think?
I
Yeah. But don't you? I just want to ask you
so
a
that
question
was
on this
weird.
though. Don't you think
Yeah,
it might have been like the wind or something like that to push it down?
yeah. That's the thing, but there's no wind up there. Like there
It's
is no way for the wind to
not
go up
even
there.
ventilation
That's the
maybe
thing.
or something
And
like that.
plus,
Or
yeah, it could be something like that. But the thing is, why was the door open in the first place?
okay,
How
yeah. I
did the
mean,
door close? You know what I
okay,
mean? Like the
yeah,
door is always closed. So
yeah. How
because
did
you
it?
can't keep it open. Because if you keep it open, it's just gonna close by itself. So
Yeah.
somebody had to open the door, right, for the door to close.
So it might be that Ghost wanted to go for a piss.
I don't know what's happened. I just still to this day can't explain it. I pussy out. I didn't go inside the toilet. I walked downstairs and then I just waited. You know what I mean? I thought,
Yeah,
maybe somebody came. Sometimes people come from outside, like maybe
yeah,
some staff, maybe like they came in to say hi. Maybe they went to the toilet and they just leave again because they are not working. So I was just waiting for people to come down, and no one came down. No one came ever down. And the worst thing that I did that night is I had it in my mind. I need to check the cameras. I need to check the cameras. I need to check the cameras. And then I fucking forgot to check the cameras when we closed because it got so busy that I just lost my mind. And then I remembered it again. And when I remembered again, it was too late. I couldn't find it anymore.
Could you not?
But
Could you not get the cameras or like again? For example,
no,
if you
because the
found.
thing is, like, I remembered again like a week. We were just talking with a colleague of mine, and then just it popped up back in my head, and I was like, oh yes, that just happened. And then I'm not gonna go down and look for like a week ago on the cameras and everything.
Oh
And I
yeah,
didn't even
makes
remember the
yeah.
time and everything, so I just gave up on that one. But that was the first time I encountered something, and it's like I don't even know what it was. Maybe it wasn't even a ghost. Maybe it was an air or something. But the thing is, like, it's just weird to me because that door always closes. Like you can't keep it open.
Mm.
To keep it open, you need to put a heavy object in front of it, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
and then you keep it open.
Yeah, so
But
if
there
it
was
was like
nothing in
a
front of there. It
yeah,
wasn't nothing. It was just the door just slammed, like somebody closed
yeah,
it instantly. So like when you're in the toilet and somebody's coming and you instantly close the door because you don't want them to come inside the toilet.
yeah.
It felt like that. But I don't know what happened. That was my only encounter, I guess, with ghosts. If it was a ghost, honestly,
Yeah,
or
so
it could have been just the air.
yeah, so I would say, for example, like it should be like these fire doors toilets, isn't it? Because in UK, is that it covers everything, doesn't it? So like,
Yeah,
it
it's
covers
like
your
this fire
feet,
door.
covers your toilet. Yeah, it's not like the American
Yeah, it
ones.
covers
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
So it's like a
So what I
yeah.
would say probably happened, if you think it might have been a ghost, I don't, it probably was a wind or something like that. But if
Would
it's
have been the wind, but honestly, one day
yeah,
maybe you can come in my workplace and you're gonna see the door and you're gonna be like,
I
there
don't want to
was no
go on
way the
there.
wind pushed
I
that.
yeah, I do not want to go down there though. Check myself for the ghost. It's some like some old guy like
But but there's some
yeah.
weird feelings up there because I have realized that some people
Mhm.
feel stuff like they have like a sixth sense in a
Yeah.
way. I think I'm one of those people,
I,
and there's some other people who
yeah.
can't. Like
I
I
tell
know
you.
people who my manager and everybody who's up there, they don't feel anything. They don't feel creepy at all, nothing. But there is another lady that works with me, and she feels the same thing as me. Like she says, like I listen
Yeah.
voices at like I hear noises at night,
Yeah.
and nobody's there.
I will tell you what. If you know North, I'll say about North London, right? Because I know you work in Central,
Yeah,
and I will say, for example, I used to live in North London, right? Near Muswell Hill. That was a place that it used to be a massive like grave for like
yep,
people that died during the Black Plague. People that died there, they basically what they did because they didn't have a lot of space because of all the bodies and stuff like that. They dumped their bodies on that hill. That's what's called Maslow Hill.
yeah,
And funny enough, before the turning, so there's like a traffic light. There's like a crossing.
yeah,
And before the turning to go, you either go right to go to Alexandra Palace basically, where the Queen used to be, and or to go straight from Maslow Hill. There is a house that it's always been shut for some reason. So there's two houses, like semi-detached. And on the left there's a normal house with people living on the right. There's one house that was always shut. I don't know about now, but when I was a kid and I was going through there, he always gave me the creeps because it's in that
it
area
has
for
the vibe,
so
right?
long. Pardon? Sorry?
Yeah. No, I mean it has that vibe, right? Like
Yeah,
it's that
yeah,
weird
it
vibe
does, it
about it.
does, man. I'm looking at it, and I'm like, there's something in there, bro. I was like, there's no way, because all the time I was like, when you see something, you're like, oh, I don't want to see a face, because that's it. I'm like, I'm so scared if I see a face. But
Yeah.
so when I was walking by it, and like, I look at the right, and I'm like, oh my god. So it's basically like with kind of like chicken kind of wire, chicken wire at the door, and there is like upstairs as well, like the windows were broken. Like it was so dark, and I was like, look, I've been here for so many years now, and no one has got it, no one has fixed it, because it probably has a good value for the place that it was, because you could from that place you could get like you go on an underground 5 minutes away and go to central London, go like
Yeah.
a lot of
Oh
the
Lord,
stuff.
underground. Maybe
Yeah,
if you have a
yeah,
supermarket close in an underground, that's
yeah,
it. You have like the best place.
yeah,
That it
yeah,
gets
yeah,
expensive in
exactly.
London real quick.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like I'm like, why they haven't used it? In so many years, and it's still like that. And it was a lot of stories. I saw one story that
Yeah, I don't
there
think
was an
anybody. Maybe
agent.
people know something about it, so they don't want to get it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
exactly. Yeah, I saw there was another story with an agent that died there. Maybe I don't even know if it was on a house, but that's what I thought it was. Because it was in North London.
I
It
get.
was
Yeah,
like
they start the rumor starting about the house afterwards, and it gets hard
exactly,
to sell it
yeah.
when the
So,
rumors start.
so it's like kind of these ghost stories people are scared of, but I would say some of them like feel true, and some of them not like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
See,
But
sometimes it's like it
yeah,
doesn't have to be a ghost sometimes, right? Sometimes
yeah,
the
yeah,
problem is the guy who's talking to you is not lying. He's telling you from his
mm,
perspective what he saw. Maybe it wasn't a ghost, but for him it was something that he
yeah,
can't understand. So that's what I like because there was this one quote from a guy, I forgot who it was, honestly, bro. I saw it on a maybe on a YouTube short or something.
mm,
It's like 99% of people will lie, right?
yeah,
But there is always at least that 1% of people who are not lying to you about what they saw. So that's what I'm looking for that
yeah,
1% of that true story. Because I can like maybe you get 100 stories. There's no way out of the 100 stories you got, all 100 people lie to you. Maybe
yeah.
99% of the people lie to you, but at least one guy
Actually,
told you the truth.
yeah. Actually, we have a story like that, and they never. Do you remember when we were kids? They
Yeah, of
never. They
course.
never.
I thought we were gonna keep it
I
for the aliens
Bro, okay,
podcast,
should we
but
keep
you
it? Should
can
we keep
pull it out.
because I have no, no. I have another story for the aliens as well. I have another
Oh
story
yeah, okay.
that
We
when
can keep it
and
for
that
the aliens.
was in our place. That was in our place of like when we were kids as well. So I'll keep it for the aliens, guys.
Yeah.
Please stay with
Honestly,
us.
I have a ghost story about when I was a kid.
Yeah,
Like not a ghost story. I've never said this before because I think it was just like a optical illusion. You know what I mean? How
yeah,
to
yeah,
call it. So I was coming from school. I was like 12 years old, maybe 10 or
yeah, yeah.
something. And I was like in the main road, like people will not understand this if you're not from the village, but I know you will understand where I was.
Mm.
I was basically where the Romero Pizzeria was back in the days, if you remember.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, I was basically literally down there. I was trying to pass the road, to go from the other side because you remember that my house is from the other side of the
Yeah,
road.
yeah, yeah. Of course, yeah.
So I'm trying to pass the road, and as I'm passing the road, I look at this old lady, like she was old as fuck, and she looks at me and I look at her and we like locked eyes with each other, and she was creepy. She was dressed full in black, like very old,
Yeah.
like she was like 90 or something. And then I looked at her, she looks at me, and then I just like I don't know why I got creeped out, so I look away and I look back and she disappeared. She was nowhere. I'm like looking like that place, right? So you know that there's no way to lose somebody there because
Was
there is
it?
nowhere for her to go.
Yeah. Was it like
Uh,
near? Was it like near where there's like the shop, the
Yeah,
souvenir
where
shop?
is
Yeah.
the supermarket now, like the
Yeah,
small
yeah,
one?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
It is
yeah,
there, literally there. What she was gonna disappear. I know
yeah.
that you can say like she could have gone down that road, but like I just looked everywhere, I couldn't see her, and I just moved on. I said maybe she like maybe she got like you can't get lost with the crowd because it's like
Mm.
not London or somewhere. Like if you are in a village,
No,
you
no,
know that
bro.
there is like
It's
5 or 10
like
people walking that road.
it's like
You
everyone
know what I
everyone
mean?
knows everyone knows each other, so we would know
Yeah, so
where
I
to
don't
go.
I didn't even know her. Like I've never seen her. I never saw her afterwards as well. Like I
Yeah.
never saw her. I don't know who she was. Maybe she was just an old lady. You know what I mean?
Mm.
That's what I'm saying to myself. So that's why I don't count it as a ghost story. But I said maybe I can throw that out there as well.
Yeah, I've got some nice stuff. Like I've got some nice stuff as well coming on for the next. We've got like I think we're gonna do like an alien.
Alien podcast?
Basing,
Yeah.
yeah, alien story. We're gonna do an alien story after this. Maybe he's right,
Good.
maybe he's wrong. I've got some stuff for you guys. But yeah, so far so good. I'm really happy to be doing this with you, and
Me
it's
too.
been it's been
Me too,
nice.
brother.
It's
Are you
been
ready now for
yeah,
the
yeah, yeah.
biggest story I have
Yeah,
that
go on.
is real in my opinion? Like I believe in this story
Is it? I'm
100%.
really I'm really happy to actually like listen to it. I'm quite excited to see like what other people think as well of it. If
Well,
you
I
if you
love
guys
talking
see
with you as well.
this, yeah, and I would say as well to our like viewers, if you guys see it, please leave us a comment or anything like that. This is our literally our first podcast. My friend Renato sounds like a robot, but it's gonna be fixed over
A
like
new
next
mic is
week.
coming. It
Yeah.
didn't came. Amazon Prime. I'm paying money. They didn't bring it
Yeah,
to me.
they didn't bring it. He's gonna complain to Amazon, maybe he's gonna get his mic
Amazon,
back.
please
Yeah.
sponsor us.
But yeah, we might, you never know, we might make it to like Prime or some shit like that. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
anyways, guys, thank you for still here, and yeah, I would like to listen to your story. Go on if you wanna start.
So this one for me is a true story because I kind of like confirmed it with
Mm.
another person, like with my manager,
Yeah.
and he like basically told me the same stuff like a month later, and we never talked about this with him. So like he shouldn't even know that I knew about this story. Like he was confused that I knew about it in the first place. But basically, I had a colleague. He's Muslim. That's why I know that it was true as well because these guys don't lie a lot.
Yeah.
And first, let's start with this guy is a proper Muslim guy. He like pray everything, like follows the Quran and everything. Some Muslims they don't do it. They
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
do
yeah, yeah.
everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
That's
can
alright as
understand
well.
that.
It's like
Yeah.
up to you what you want to do.
It's up to the lives, we don't know about
Yeah,
this
it's up to
guy.
you. I know
So
in London, there's a
yeah.
lot of rules in Quran. I know.
So
You
on
know what I
what?
mean?
Yeah, yeah. So what are you telling me?
This
Basically,
is
he
like a
was like a
proper guy. This
proper
guy
guy. Yeah.
doesn't like. This guy doesn't lie. There's no reason for him to lie. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
there was no point for him to give me this story. Like I just asked him for fun.
yeah.
Like I was like telling him like,
I
oh, we are talking
yeah,
like that. He could just say, I don't have any stories. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And it's like because we talk with this guy a lot. It's like eventually, like he opened up to me because usually it's this stuff that you don't tell people because people will think you are crazy. But he knows that I like I like the weird shit. So he basically opened up to this about me. So uh, he was working in Liverpool Street when the Liverpool Station, sorry, when this happened. So for anybody who doesn't know, Liverpool Station apparently I googled it up and is apparently the most haunted place in London. I didn't know it before this, but
Yeah,
apparently this is
yeah.
this is true. I mean, if you
Liverpool
search
Street. Yes.
most haunted places in London, I think Liverpool Station is like the first one. Could be wrong,
No,
but
no.
last time I
Yeah.
checked it, that's what it said. So let's get to the story, anyways. So this
I,
guy,
go on. Sorry.
yeah,
Before you start, especially London, that comes, to it. And I would
yeah,
say that there's a lot of people like, there is a lot of stuff captured in cameras as well. I've seen was it the lady that were opening like her blinds or something like that? That was like captured on camera.
yeah, that was
There's a lot of
that. There is some like underground tunnels.
yep,
There
yep.
is the epic forest that we need to go eventually and do a. We need to do a video
There
about
is
epic forest.
now there is a village in the whole of UK, right?
Yeah,
I have actually went there to do a job because outside of this as well, I work as an engineer, so I go like all over, all over my county. So, basically, there's a village called Plackley, and it's in Kent. And
yeah.
that is apparently the most haunted village, basically, in the United Kingdom. And if you go and
Okay.
see, even if you stop, you probably have stopped the zone, because when you came down to me, you probably have stopped with the train and stuff like that you saw around, but you didn't think of it. Even if you
Well,
stop at the station and see around or whatever, you will see there's like destroyed destroyed houses around and all that, and you say, why is that? And there is actually a walk that you can do. It's like the haunted walk, and you can go and explore
okay.
the yeah,
I didn't know about
it's
this.
mad. Yeah, it's that's why it's called. It's the most haunted village in UK. And
Okay, 100 likes. Okay, we make it
yeah,
happen.
yeah, we might do 100. You say 100 likes to go there. Oh my
I don't
god.
like.
I would say, look, I would say if we get 100, probably 100 views, or do you mean 100 likes? We've got to do it. We can do it
We
together
gotta
though.
do it. We said it, so we gotta do it.
Okay,
I have
100
vacations. I
likes.
have 6 days vacation. I have 6 days left.
Okay, so 100 likes for this video. I don't think it will happen or whatever because it's really first podcast, and we'll probably do it. We'll probably do it, guys. It's up to you. If you want us to be sender, you have to like, you know, just like this video, share it, and yeah. Yeah, sorry about like stopping you, but I just wanted to
Oh, that's
as well
right.
just say that. And another thing as well, it's with you say he's Muslim, right? So
Yeah,
if he has sees something, he would immediately believe that's a jinn, isn't it? So
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
what, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not like a ghost, guys. It's literal
Oh, for
like
him,
demon, yeah.
it wasn't really a good. I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
ghost, so he just basically gave me like the weird thing.
Yeah.
But like, he believes like in genies, like there's bad and good genies.
Yeah.
Apparently, I don't know exactly how it goes. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, yeah, just
And
continue. Just continue like the
so
story. I
basically,
wanna.
he was working in Liverpool station before he worked with me. And for those who don't know, it's like the deliveries are usually like in like a remote area away. Like I've worked in like Canary Wharf. In Canary Wharf, it's even worse. It's like I had to go 6 floors below the earth, and it was an experience. Like I would go with an elevator, and I would be afraid. I was like, God, don't let me die down here. I don't want to, because I have like claustrophobia, so I can't stay below like earth and stuff like that. I can't. It's impossible for me. So he was like going for delivery, and like
Mm.
this is a big guy, by the way. Like he's not that tall, like 175 or something, maybe 176. I don't know. He's not that tall, but it's like build wise, he's like a big guy, like an intimidating guy. And he's like when you see him,
Mm.
personality wise as well, like he's not afraid to speak about what he thinks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's not like somebody who is timid, somebody who's gonna be afraid easily. Like you cannot scare him easily. So he's basically doing delivery. And as he's chilling, he's down there, he's doing his thing, he's alone. He's in this delivery room apparently, and so he's inside, and he just turns around, and he sees this dark figure behind him looking at him. And basically, this dark figure was coming towards him, and he closed his eyes, and he just dropped in the floor, and he just started praying, to Allah and everything. He was crying. He took the bottle of water. He was throwing it in his head, and he was crying. He called the manager, and he's like, "Please come and help me," and everything. And basically, my manager found him on the floor with bottle of water. Like he was like pouring water
Oh my God.
in
Yeah.
his head, and he's like
Yeah.
he was praying to Allah. And he was like he just basically he didn't like he that whatever he saw scared the living out of him.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
why I know it's a true thing, because he saw something. Because nobody, just like he was in shock, he was like
Yeah.
trembling. Like my manager said, I saw him like I was like, what happened? He was trembling. He was pouring water in his head and everything. And I know this is a true story as well, because he told me, and like a month later, I was talking to my manager, and like the topic came up again, and my manager literally told me exactly the same thing as he told me, like
It's just
from his
he
perspective, though.
found him like
Yeah,
on the
from his
floor
from his perspective.
crying. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
basically, that's what happened to him. And I believe that. I think the guy saw something,
Mm.
because if you see him,
Yeah.
he's a big guy, not easily intimidating, and the guy was in the floor, like begging for like praying to Allah, trembling, throwing water at himself. Like you saw something for you to do that. He couldn't explain it to me. He said just the easiest I can explain is like a dark,
Mm.
big figure, like a tall, dark figure. That's all he will say.
Yeah. Yeah. I can't understand that. To be fair, I think I'll be scared as well of of
I
what
mean,
he saw.
hey,
And yeah.
listen, if you see like a dark figure, like,
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
No,
like,
man.
and you
Yeah.
have nowhere to
Yeah.
go. I'm fucking dropping to the ground and I'm praying to God, and I don't really believe to God that much as well. I'm not gonna lie to you, and I'll be
Yeah.
like, please, God,
Yeah.
save me.
I will have done the same as well. So going back to the village that I said to you, which is mad, right?
Yeah,
It's actually in the Guinness Book of Records, as it is.
really.
Yeah, it's reputed
Can you
to.
name me again? Let me Google that thing.
It's Blackley. The name is Blackley. I'll show you. It's called like this, and just type coast, and it's basically. So they have actually found, or the people believe that they live there, that there's like about 13 or 14 ghosts, right?
Okay,
And
there's a
some of
lot.
these, yeah, yeah, yeah. it's like a lot of people have said that, and when I used to work around that area, because I used to live around the area, only like I don't know 20 minutes away from it, right? There was
Yeah.
a lot of the locals there that used to work at the same place as me that used to live nearby. They used to say that yes, there used to be a ghost that um like a bride, and if you basically, because she would ask you for a ride with your car, if you stop and you give her a ride, the guy will just disappear, or the person or the woman that they accepted the ghost in the car, they would disappear or something will happen to them. So there was this co-worker's dad that saw the ghost, but because of he knew the reputation of what happened and stuff like that. When he saw her, he basically he sped up and he left.
Good, good decision, smart
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah. He sped up and he left because he got scared. He saw like a bride. You can't see a bride in the middle of the road like at I don't know 10 o'clock
Oh,
or like 8 o'clock
yeah,
in
just
the evening.
that's some weird stuff, man.
Yeah, man, you don't see that in the dark, and you just like, oh yeah, come in. No.
Honestly, if I saw
So
a lady in the middle
yeah,
of the night alone, I'm sorry. If you were in trouble, I'm really sorry. I may call the police
yeah, yeah, yeah.
to to see if somebody needed help, but I'm not stopping. I'm sorry. Like
No, man,
even
no.
if you are not a ghost, right? It could be like a hoax and like people waiting on the side,
Yeah.
and like it's not a good idea to stop at the middle of the night if you see
No, no,
like a
and
person there.
she was saying this story to me, and I was like, that's mad how people, I was like, because I was new there, I was like, how do people believe this? You know what I mean? It's like you
Yeah,
can't have
I
it, and
mean
then
it's until it happens to you, brother.
yeah, yeah, that's true, and
Because
that's what I'm getting really scared now because I'm always talking about all of that stuff, and I'm leaving the village as well. And anyways, so talking about this, there is a lot of gossip. It was like like I say here, the white lady, a young woman apparently buried inside 7 coffins and on an oak sarcophagus
Jesus.
who haunts Saint Nicholas Church. So in that search, with all the with all the graves and all that, like that would creep me out. Like if I see something like that. I used to live next to a church that had like these really old graves. There was a grave since like 13,000.
Was it the one where I visit you with the graves
Yes,
there on the
yes, yes,
side?
yes, yes.
Yes, yeah, I
You,
was there. I saw
do
that.
you remember that? Do you remember that? Yeah,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
was
yeah.
crazy, man. It was like it was crazy. Like all of these that happened, especially in UK. But the thing that messes up with me, right? Why the
Yeah.
UK though? Why?
I mean,
Why
I don't
is
know, but the UK has that vibe, you know what I mean? Like everything is
yeah,
dark, bro.
like the
Like it's
gothic?
like a dark feeler comes in
Yeah.
front of your eyes. When I go back to Greece, it's like color come back
Yeah,
to
but
life.
if you think about it, right, Greece is one of the countries that's been like it's
Um,
oldest than
I
UK.
mean, there is some stuff going on in Greece
Yeah,
as well,
but
you know
it's
what I
like
mean?
if you go, oh my God, if you go, the monasteries and whatever in Kilkis as well, and people saying about, oh yeah, there's
I
ghosts
think I
100%.
think what's happening is I think just people like you because of the internet you're learning about maybe because you're living in UK as well so you're
Yeah,
learning about these places but there's so many other places like
yeah,
I was lucky to work with some like South Asians and I didn't know, but apparently South Asia is like haunted. Like these guys completely believe in ghosts, like dark magic, ghosts. Like I can, like, they have given me like 100
yeah,
stories on dark magic and stuff like happened with dark magic. They believe in ghosts. They believe that the
yeah,
Indians believe that dark magic is like they have like the strongest because their god is like the blue god with a lot of hands.
yep, yep,
You know what I mean? I forgot
yeah.
his name now. I'm not gonna lie to you
I
but
think it's her
that guy
name.
basically he's god of gods and he's the god of demons together. So he's a good and a bad guy at the same time.
Yeah, I
So
think
a lot
it's
of
her.
people
I
believe
think
in
it
him.
was a woman. I think it was a woman
No, no,
ghost,
no.
but
It's a guy. It's a guy. He's
oh,
like I forget his name. He's Hindu. He's basically Hindu. If
yeah,
you
yeah. We
Hindu
don't
people
really know
know it.
about a lot of religions, to be honest.
I mean, I used to know a lot, but
Yeah,
it's been some time now.
yeah, yeah.
But yeah, so basically, I don't think you Spiro knew that the South
No,
Asian like
no.
all these guys that
This is the
hunted like
first
in
time
your
I hear
eyes
about this. Yeah,
you think USA, you think UK because that's where you've been. because you've never like heard people from another part of the world because they don't talk about maybe you it's not in your
Mm.
interest to look like South Asia ghosts. You know what I mean? You're not gonna go and type that.
Yeah.
You're just gonna see ghost stories. You're gonna see top 5 ghosts or something, and it's gonna be all in USA. And you're gonna be like, why is everything in USA happening? It's not really everything happening in USA. It's just because that's what you're consuming from the internet. That's what you see, right?
Yeah.
So honestly, these guys have some crazy stories. They have even crazier stories than our in the West. And I'm like, I thought we guys had the scary ghosts from this side. I think the other side is even scarier apparently.
But yeah, but it can be. You never know, man. It's like,
Yeah,
I would love to visit like one of these countries or whatever. I would love to
yeah. I
go
would like to go, and I
visit
honestly would
like
like
Southeast
to.
Asia, Thailand. I would love to visit other,
Yeah, all
other
of these
countries
countries,
nearby.
honestly.
Yeah. Um.
And I had this uh, friend from Africa as well in my workplace, even
Oh
in
yeah, I've
Africa,
heard
like,
about. Yeah,
and I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like voodoo and all this stuff, and I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah.
damn, bro. And he
I've heard
told me
about.
that he's basically this guy. He was like a prince of his village as well, like
Mm,
a small village, and he comes like he's like a technically like a prince, but he basically, I mean, in this day of age, he's just a normal guy, but he's technically a prince of his village as well.
yeah.
But in the West, it doesn't matter. He's just a normal guy.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah.
Uh, so basically he's blessed like from their magic or whatever with two magics of love and war. So he
Oh.
was telling me if I give him money and stuff like that, that he can make any woman that I want falling in love with me. But if I betray her, she's going to kill me. So you gotta choose wisely. I mean, you guys can believe in this stuff, but I think it's a scam. But you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
it's
Yeah. I
just like
know.
stuff like
Yeah.
this. There is the
Or
voodoo.
like,
People will do voodoo, dark magic to
yeah.
you,
Have you seen?
and
Have you
all that
seen?
stuff.
I was gonna say, like, have you seen on the African kind of stories about the thing that dances and there's nothing inside, like they make something dance. It's like
Yeah,
I don't know how to say explain it. It's like hay. Do you know what hay is? Like the ones that
yeah, yeah,
um what the horses eat. So they
yeah,
make
yeah. I
something
understand what
like
you mean.
that, and then it just runs around and he's dancing and it's like there's no one inside, and
Like it's some
yeah.
weird stuff, man.
They
It's
make
some
it
weird stuff.
dance. They make it dance.
Like
Apparently, that's what they call
there,
dark magic and stuff like that.
yeah,
But
there's just like a
yeah,
lot of dark magic voodoo and stuff like that, bro.
yeah,
India and apparently India as well. I didn't know
mm,
India had dark magic until I heard it. And they were debating with the black guy who has
yeah.
the darkest magic. Like they were like fighting who has the who is the scariest dark. And
I,
I'm like,
I
what
tell
is
you,
going on?
I tell you something funny though. I'll tell you something funny. I haven't told you that, but this is like
Yeah,
1 year when I was in a private school in Greece. College, the
yeah,
college roads. Yeah. So one of the classmates there, she was like, this is me when I was like probably 9 years old. Yeah, 9 years old. One of my classmates in that school, she was like, they were asking her like what her mother does, like for working, like for leaving and stuff like that. And like she's in a
yeah.
college, so she must be well off. And she told me that like her mum like does magic, and I'm like, you serious, man? What are you on about? And yeah, I'm not kidding actually. That's actually a true story.
Well,
Yeah, she told me like
now
her
we know
mum.
how she got in there.
Yeah, mate, like her mum does magic, and I'm like, what are you on about? Like, what do you mean? And she was like, do you see this cross? And how every Christian like they have a cross. Every Orthodox Christian they got a cross or whatever given to them on the when they are baptized. She was like, do you see in the middle? Yeah, that she can see everything from there. It's like a camera, and I'm like, mate, you can't be serious.
Right.
And
Nah.
she said to me that like, yeah, it's true. She's got like a magic ball, and she can see everything from there and all that. And I'm like, I don't know. Maybe she would like say, oh, the fifth family, it's um, I mean,
Maybe
say
it's
like,
one of those
yeah,
where
they made the
you're like,
like.
was she a kid and she got tricked by her mother, or was
Yeah,
the whole
yeah,
thing
or like,
real?
yeah,
You know what I mean?
do you know what I mean? Yeah, because like, yes, I am 9 years old, but at the same time, I did not believe in Santa. Like I found out, I found out when I was really keen that
Well,
the Santa wasn't existing and stuff like that. And I'm like, but that magic stuff is only on the telly, Harry Potter, whatsoever. Yes, Harry
uh,
Potter was a thing.
I love that we went to magic from the ghost to magic
No, but that's we're talking about
on
paranormal,
this
and it's
level.
like it's paranormal still, isn't it? It's like how? It's
It
like that
is, yeah.
magic, yeah. So yeah, but she was insisting like every time that her mum
I
was like a
guess
magician.
something
Yeah,
was going on there. You know
her
what I mean?
mum was. He
Like she
said like
really
yeah,
believed. Like like you can like
yeah,
is
yeah,
this
yeah,
kind of stuff that I was talking, right? Like she really believed
yeah.
her mother was a
And she
witch.
was like, and then she
So,
said as well to me, like she dropped the bomb. She said to me, "Oh yeah, my mum has like she's got a broom as well that she flies with it." And I'm like, "What?"
oh Lord.
Yeah. I was like, as a kid, I was like, "Okay, that's really cool," but like, I don't know what to do with that kind of information. Like, okay, I was like, all right, and but yeah, it's one of the stories that you talk about that magic, and that happened to me, and I'm like, what the hell? Yeah, but they did believe like people, especially in Europe as well, like some women were witches and stuff like that,
I
and
have some. I don't know
yeah.
if we should go to the demon realm or not, because I have some with exorcism stories as well. You know, I
I,
don't know how
I
I have two stories about exorcism, and I don't know
I
how
have
I
one.
ended
I
up
can't.
knowing that.
If you would like,
But
because
are
it's
we gonna keep it
paranormal.
for a demon
Can we?
episode, or do we
No, I
drop them
think we
here?
should. I think we have enough time. We do have 20 minutes for like for our viewers to see. So I think I'm gonna go first and say because I've got one story and then you can finish off
Yeah,
the
yeah,
two.
you can go on
Um,
with your story.
so I know someone. It might be close relative to mine. I'm not gonna disclose who it is and stuff like that. But when they were young, this demon that we say, especially in Albania, wasn't it? The one that comes in
Yeah,
and basically there is a demon that we believe. I'm not gonna say the name of it because I think I have encountered it in my sleep. I don't know because it's
I
so
think I
weird.
know what you mean, and
It's
I have as well.
do you want me to say? Do you want me to say it? That we know
You
which
can
one it
say it.
is. It's we call it Mora, and Mora comes in your sleep, and she basically like tries to suffocate you.
Basically, sleep paralysis for the.
Exactly. And what happened was Mora came into one of my relatives, and she tried to suffocate her. So we tried everything. We tried going to the what we do as well, especially in Albania. My mom's Albanian, so she does. She puts the scissors under the bed.
The
Basically, for
classic ones.
me, if for their relative, their mum put the scissors under the bed. But for me, it didn't suffocate me. And I will say that as well after this story. And what happened was that person went, they couldn't do anything. They would just wake up feeling breathless and just say like, what am I supposed to do now? Like, they were a kid basically. And what happened
Yeah,
was their mum got them and like they went to a church, to an Orthodox church, and what they did, they were like, we say something, it's called diasmos, and they like they put them, they blessed her, and what they did
yeah,
the
the blaster.
exorcism, yes, they blessed her, and what they did the exorcism and stuff like that. But they're not the same, but they just blessed her with all of that. And we, I mean, what they did, they got rid of like all of the stuff that had to do with demons and stuff like that. For example, they had teddy bears that were demons and all of that. They got rid of them and they got them out of the house, and they got all the stuff that they thought it was like a bad aura. And basically, it didn't come back for them. For me, it used to be when I think it was in my like early teens. I was like 14.
Yeah, it's usually
Yeah,
around there.
yeah, it's in your teens. Yeah, she came in and she had. It was this dark figure. I still remember the dream because when I was like an early teen, I was really like angry. You know what I mean? When you get all these hormones and stuff like that, and you can't control it, and
Yeah,
as a teenage boy, and basically I saw her, and it was like one of the places I used to live in London, and I saw her where the toilet was, and she was like really tall, and I knew exactly who it was. I don't know how, but I knew exactly who it was. But she didn't talk to me. It was one of her servants that talked to, because demons, if I remember correctly, they have ranks as well, isn't it? They have
Yeah.
ranks of like how powerful they are. So one of the
We can
other
do
ones,
a demon episode eventually.
yeah, we can do after this one, yeah. But as I said, it's still a paranormal activity, so I really want to say it. So yeah, so one of them was talking to me in my dream. That was all in my dream, by the way, guys. And basically, it was like, yeah, you know, I don't remember where he said. I know it was a man. It was a man, you know, demon, and there
Yeah.
was another one next to him. But my the way my palm used to be was that I could see outside the window, and the window outside was white. And what I did, I ignored them as much as I could. I literally just ignored the demons. I saw outside the window was all white, and that's what I focused on. And then the white came in the room, and it got me away from that situation, and just woke up. Like they never like completely got me. Do
And
you know what I mean? And but yeah, it was another one, but I'll basically save it for another time, another dim story. But yeah,
yeah.
you can go on with it and finish the episode for us. I really wanna hear what you have to
Okay.
say. Yeah,
So let me just before the other stories, let me hit you up with mine as well experience. Since we talked about more, I
yeah,
may as well hit my story as well with it. So for me is I had this thing from like kids until my 18, 19 years old,
yeah.
where there will be this small child, like a small girl. That's why I refuse to watch The Ringer, like with
Mm.
Annabelle and stuff like that, because I have this from a kid
I
where
hate.
I would just see this
Yeah.
this little it was like a little kid, like a little girl
Mm.
dressed in white, and she will come once in a while in my dreams. Not always, it will be once in a
That
while.
is
Every time I
creepy,
forget
man.
about her, every time I will
Yeah,
forget about her, she will like boom. And it's basically so. Do you remember my mother's room?
yeah. The one in
So I
Greece,
was
isn't it?
yeah, 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 I
Yeah,
was sleeping there in her bedroom. I was sleeping there at that night. I remember it. And the thing is like every time I see this dream, she opens the drawers and just comes out of it. And she just slowly walks towards me and there is nothing I can do. I'm just like I can't move, I can't scream, I can't do nothing. It's
that's
like a
yeah,
sleep paralysis, right?
yeah. Sleep
And
paralysis.
she
Yeah.
just slowly walks towards me and every time she like puts her hands on my face, like I wake up.
Oh my god.
And this night I just closed the drawers because I was like if it happens because it had happened like it was happening now suddenly it was happening every night for that week. It usually never happened, but for that week it started happening. So so I'm a kid as well, so I'm afraid. So I'm going to my mother's bed. I'm trying to sleep with my mother
Mm.
to like because I was afraid. I couldn't sleep alone.
Yeah.
And I close the drawers. I remember it. I close the drawers. I sleep, and the dream happens, and I wake up, and the drawers are open as well. Like I close them. I remember specifically. I closed them, and then I went to sleep. I woke up after the dream happened. Like everything
Yeah.
happens. I see her coming out of the drawers, everything, and then I see the drawers open as well. I just like. And the thing with this dream compared to other ones is like, when you have a bad dream, you can just like imagine like, oh yeah, I have a sword, I can kill you or something. Like you can
Yeah.
manipulate
Yeah.
your dream
Yeah.
to do
Lucid
whatever you
dreams.
want in them.
Lucid dreams. Yeah.
It's just
We talk about it as
in
well.
this one, it's like you can't do anything, you can't change it.
Mm.
So it's just like you can't change anything, so you are just stuck there. And it's like to this day is the only dream. Like I had other bad dreams, and it's like nightmares. And in your nightmares, you need to fight your nightmares to like get rid of them.
Yeah.
That's what we learned. So I will always like my trick was to like just like make it funny, make it something happen, change it, make yourself stronger, I guess, or something like where you can beat, you can do whatever in your dream. So that's what I will do. I will always like I see it getting scary, and I will just change it. Like, oh, I got away because I'm faster or whatever. And I will always beat that. But this one is until my teens. Thank God it doesn't show up anymore now that I'm on my 20s. But but I never beat it. And to this day, I'm like I refuse to watch anything with like a little girl's
Yeah. Especially Annabelle. Yeah.
stuff, Annabelle and stuff like that.
Oh, I
I don't know.
hate
The
it. I hate it.
Ringer,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
hate all of this. I just
Yeah.
can't. I can't do it. I can watch anything else, honestly. You can put me
Yeah.
to watch anything else. It's just I can't.
I
It's impossible.
I hate. Annabelle and all of this kind of stuff because my sister
Yeah.
used to be a weirdo as a kid. I'll say,
Oh,
I'll say now, my sister used to have these dolls, right? The porcelain
yeah,
dolls.
I remember
The
them.
dolls, yeah.
I stayed
Oh,
away from your sister's
oh
room.
my God.
Every time I would just like run away fast immediately. I would just
Yeah,
pass fast
yeah.
from the
Like
room.
even my mum when she used to like go and clean her room and stuff like that, she would hate especially one doll. One doll, she would hate it. Like she would put it on the bottom like of the sections.
Yeah.
She has like a
And I know,
basket.
and I remember your mother and your sister, they loved horror movies as well. So
Yeah,
she's not
yeah. My
she's
sister
afraid
used
of
to watch
movies.
horror movies like with closed
Yeah.
doors or whatever. It
I
used to be
remember we
this
used to
weird
watch
kid.
with your mother. Sometimes she used to just laugh, and we were like we were
Yeah.
scared. And your mother and your sister were used to laugh at it, and we were like
I
scared.
know, yeah, man. It's just I don't know, and the doll that she had, that one, my mum would put it literally on the bottom of the basket and never comes out.
Yeah.
I would hate that doll. Like when I went, I remember if you remember, okay, when I was coming back in, in summers and stuff like that, and if the third floor was full on with dolls, I would literally just throw them out to
I don't
sleep
know,
for
man.
the
I'm
summer,
not gonna
bro.
lie to you. I'm gonna tell you this one. I don't know if I ever told you this one,
Yeah,
but
go on.
your first floor, like the second and the third floor were fine for me. The first floor, it was creepy. Like every time we will sleep in your house, I will be praying like, "Let's go on the third floor, bro. Let's not sleep inside in the first floor." I remember one night when I came, it was your parents, everybody had left,
Yeah,
and it was just you. And you told me, "Can you come in my house? Because I don't want to sleep alone in my house."
yeah, yeah.
And I said, "Okay." So you go to your parents' room and you let me sleep in your room,
I remember this, yeah.
bro. I didn't sleep all night. I was just with the thing. I was just like feeling something, like from the that you have that long where it was like from your kitchen to your
Yeah,
sister's room to
yeah,
your
the
room.
corridor,
It's like
yeah, yeah.
yes, but like I would just and your kind of your bed. I remember kind of looked towards your door, which looked to the corridor. So I would just like
Yes,
be
yes,
like that and
yeah.
wait for somebody to come from there, bro.
I have,
And I would be like,
yeah.
damn.
I'll tell
It's
you
just like
what.
your first room was a little bit weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. The rest of the house was always fine, but your first was like I don't know.
I'll tell you what. That house on the, I'll say, there was been multiple times when I woken up, I was like, where am I? Because of how strange the thing is. But
Yeah,
I don't know. I quite like it because I grew up on it. But
yeah, I
the creepy
understand.
thing is, about the house. I'll have to admit is because we have tiles on the floor, so like you can't hear anything if someone comes in. Like for example, you know how in UK houses you can hear like the scrape, like
Yeah,
the wooden floors and all that. Like you cannot hear anything in the house. But I think it's just like it's only like what 20 years old. It's not as thing as in UK. It's not like 100 years old or whatever. So it's quite relatively new. Like you wouldn't expect there to be a ghost. Like my dad built
yeah.
a house from the ground up, but like in these houses here, oh my god, that
Uh,
would be scared.
it's just like it's because if you go to Greece and you come to UK,
Yeah.
you're used to some different houses in Greece. All the houses they are strong because because we have too many
Yeah,
earthquakes.
yeah, they're
So
meant to
you
be
have
with earthquakes, yeah.
to build. Here in UK there is no earthquake. I went to the museum once and they had like a simulation about earthquakes and I laughed and I'm like, what is
Yeah,
this?
don't,
And
don't,
then I
no, no,
realized that these people have never felt one, so
no,
this is for them how it feels.
no.
It
It's
was
like,
actually quite well done. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie.
was it actually? I wanna have one because I have. Or should I save it? I will say something about earthquakes. We can have a talk about that. I can save
Yeah, I
it.
mean, some point.
Yeah, I think we
It's
should
up to
save this
you.
for another episode. I have quite big PTSD on earthquakes, and I'll save a
Really?
story later.
I never
Yes,
was
yes, I
afraid
have.
of them, honestly.
Yeah, but
I'm honestly, every time I see earthquake, I'm like chill. Like everybody's going around, and I'm like, just chill. Like, okay, bro,
yeah, for me
it's
it's
just an
because
earthquake.
I woke up quite a lot for them, so that's why it shook me as a kid. But they don't know, like people when they experience it, they don't know what an actual is. Like they will experience it for, do you know? And at this point,
Yeah,
they would go out. I can see like people coming from UK or somewhere else. They will go out at 4, number 4 earthquake, and they will go out. I'm like, mate, I didn't go out at 7. You know? I
it's
haven't gone.
like
Like
it's like that.
honestly, it's like basically the best I can describe an earthquake is like if you I don't know how to say. If you're in a ball and
Yeah,
someone
it's
is
just like it's
shaking
just like
you.
a little bit shaky, maybe like
Yeah,
sometimes like the like I don't know. It's like when you get dizzy and your room just like whoop whoop a little bit, like it turns
yeah,
a little
yeah,
bit, and
yeah,
then you're like, oh, what happened? And then you realize, oh, it was an earthquake. You realize I was like, sometimes it gets trippy because you don't feel the earthquake. Sometimes it's like this small that you can't feel it really, and it's just like it shakes a little bit, but
yeah.
it's so little sometimes
When
that
it
you just like
has,
the
yeah,
you lose a little bit of the balance. You're like, what just happened? And then you realize everything in the room is start moving. Yeah, oh, it's an earthquake. Because you are in Greece, you realize it's an earthquake immediately
I know, and
because it's common.
yeah. But yeah, anyways, closing in. Have you got the last story as well? Like we have to. Let
So
me.
I'll
Yeah,
just give you one of this.
yeah.
The
Go on.
other one I will keep it for maybe the other
Oh,
time.
yeah, yeah. Demon time.
So I don't know which one I should give you.
You have
I'll
5 minutes. Let's go.
I have two. I'll give you the smallest one because I have
Go
one
on.
that is
Yeah,
big, but I give you the small one then. So basically, I had this like old friend in a way. Like I haven't talked to this guy in like 10 years
yeah.
probably now, maybe even more. So this guy, his father is like a normal, like a normal dude, like a normal
Yeah.
father in your opinion. It's like think about your father, like, and it's just like randomly one day your father just wants to suicide
Oh,
out of nowhere. Like think about your father, Spiro, and
yeah.
just think at some point your father just randomly starts trying to suicide in
Oh
front
my
of you
god.
and in front of
Oh my
everybody,
god.
and he just wanted to kill himself. He will not talk to anyone. He will not do anything. He will just try to kill himself. Nothing
Oh
else.
no.
And then they did everything. They were keeping him in the house. They sent him to doctors. Everything. Nobody didn't know what to do about it. So they finally called the priest. Right in Greece, is a religious country, so they believe a lot in demons and everything. So they called the priest and they did exorcism to him. And just the guy just turned normal again. Like just suddenly he doesn't want to suicide anymore. He doesn't want to do it. He's
Yeah.
like he doesn't even remember trying to suicide or something.
Hmm.
Like for him it was just like everything was normal. Nothing he never like was weird or something. So that was like a weird thing, which is like that can happen, I guess. Like it's like this kind of stuff, right? Like what are you?
Yeah.
How can you explain that? You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
mean, you can say the
Yeah.
guy. It's like he didn't have any debts, right? He didn't have any problems or something for him to want to suicide. It's just randomly he wanted to kill himself. Suddenly, he wouldn't talk to no one. He wouldn't do anything, and then you get an exorcism, and then you are fine. Like that goes all away. Like you
Hmm.
don't want to suicide anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean,
So it's like one of the stories where like something happened there as well, right? Like
yeah.
how
That
can
is
you explain that
crazy. I
otherwise?
can't. From a point of view, like I don't understand how this would happen, but if it was
Huh? I mean,
something
I
that.
wasn't there.
Hmm.
I wasn't there. I wasn't like, going. Don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe the guy was going through some stuff. You know what I mean? But it's
Yeah.
like one of these where it's like you are trying for like a week to kill yourself, and then you are okay. Everything is fine.
Yeah.
Everything
Yeah.
is
I can
normal.
understand that. Yeah.
Nothing is happening. Like you go back to living your life like it didn't happen.
Now
It's
that
just
is
like
mad.
I don't know. It's just like maybe you can do that, but just my opinion is
Yeah.
that's one of the weird stuff. You know what I mean? Where it's like people thought he was possessed basically,
Yeah.
and they brought an exorcism. They did everything to him. They did exorcism and everything, and he was fine afterwards.
Oh, that's mad.
So
That's mad. I don't know what happened, but I think maybe he was mentally unstable or something like that. But at the end of the day,
I
you
mean
never
that's
know.
what you think in the
Yeah.
start as well, right? It's like you think, oh, maybe he was mentally unstable and everything.
Mm.
But this is why people don't want to talk about this stuff because like the first thing you will think is like, oh, the guy just went
Yeah,
crazy
he's
or something.
crazy. Yeah, but then
That's why
there is
nobody's gonna
something
talk about
in
it
there.
because it's
Yeah.
their parents, is your family, is
Yeah.
something. So and then they just go back to normal and just like, what is going on? Something is going on here, bro. Something is weird.
Yeah. Yeah, I can understand that. Like you would never want for your dad to be mentally unstable, is it? It's like it's literally your dad is a person that
Yeah, so that's why
yeah,
that's why I believe this kind of stories because like who will go and like say, oh, my father was crazy? You know what I mean? Nobody's gonna do that.
yeah,
Nobody's gonna tell you a story about his father being crazy. Everybody's
yeah,
just gonna hide that shit. Like you don't say that stuff. You know what I mean?
yeah. I can
Unless
understand
something
that.
really happened.
That
Like let's say it was your father speaking, would you go around and just tell
no,
people
man, no.
that
I will not tell
my
anything.
father wanted to kill
I
himself?
will not tell anything.
He
That is
got possessed.
crazy. That's crazy,
You know
man.
what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, on that
That's what I'm
note,
saying.
on that note, It was a pleasure to have you.
Of course,
It was a pleasure
as
to
always.
Yeah, it was a pleasure to do this with you. This is our first podcast with Renato,
Ooh.
and yeah, guys, I wish you well, and you guys gonna have a nice week. And yeah, I'll catch
Yeah.
you on the next episode.
We see you guys
Yeah,
on the next one,
yeah.
and
Thank you
maybe
for
we get
listening. A better
the face
quality.
reveal.
Maybe
Maybe
face
we get
reveal.
the face reveal, the biggest
Maybe
face reveal
yeah.
ever.
Maybe no one knows, but we'll put
If
this in as
Prime
well.
brings me
Yeah.
my stuff,
But yeah, anyways, guys, have a good one. Thank you for
see
listening.
you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you. Bye bye.